Good evening. Welcome to the October 19th, 2021 Piedmont Community Charter School Board of Directors meeting. Ms. Largent will read us the mission statement tonight.
The mission of Piedmont Community Charter School. Piedmont Community Charter School is a tuition-free K through 12 school that offers a superior college preparatory education experience for this community and its families.
Thank you. We will now observe a moment of silence. Thank you. Before we move into public comments, I need to add a couple things to the agenda. We need to add Mr. Steve Eaton from the Gaston County DHHS in right after the public comments, and then also the seating of our new middle school staff rep as part of the governance committee board report. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Motion, a second?
Second.
Hear a motion in a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, we have two public comments. And just to remind you to limit your comments to 3 minutes. First public comment is from Grayson Yancey, Gastonia.
Hey, it's good to talk to you guys today. My name is Grayson Yancey. I'm a senior here at Piedmont Charter, and I'm here to talk today about clubs and the impact of the absence of clubs in our school environment. So Piedmont's always had a really strong club history. The option to have those extracurriculars after school is always something super welcome and super loving even in our school culture. I myself was a part of 4 clubs before COVID hit: National Honor Society, debate, student government, and chess. I don't even play chess. I just went because it was a fun environment and it was a good place to socialize and be with my peers. The morale that our school has lost after COVID is something that cannot be understated. And I think clubs are one of the primary reasons why we've lost this level of morale. I remember coming back junior year and eating lunch in the commons area just outside and being able to hear a pin drop. It was so silent. Around people I knew and people who knew each other and were involved in each other's lives. And that would have never happened pre-COVID. At dismissal, it's quiet. You couldn't even hear your name be called for the car rider line pre-COVID. That's the level of morale we've been lacking. Clubs are one of the major aspects of high school culture that lifts people's spirits and even makes them want to come to school some days. And the type of excitement and fervor that comes with the extracurriculars is something we desperately need back. If we can host athletics with shoulder-to-shoulder contact, why can't we host a room with people discussing prom or organizing a canned food drive? Homecoming week, which many students are chomping at the bit to hear the verdicts on whether we're having or not, always used to have a dodgeball tournament, which this little tiny sports day, this little tiny 2 hours of the day was something that when I asked everyone I knew in almost all of my classes, every single student beamed with, dude, I so wish that was back. That was so much fun. It was an opportunity for underclassmen to just take a day, play some dodgeball, and have a good time, maybe miss 4th period, and seniors an opportunity to relax, chill, and just get rid of their day's worries. These sports tournaments that we would do only 2 or 3 times a year were a welcome sight, and weren't only a great fundraiser, but a great fundraiser for things like Spirit Week and pep rallies, but it was a bit of spice of life to our current school culture. With things that we've been lacking in clubs and morale and just school spirit in general, I think bringing back clubs is something we desperately need. I don't think we can really go without it anymore because it's a depressing environment. It really is. To walk through the halls and to see faces of people, every single one of them head down, mask up, no emotion. And clubs, I think, bring the life back into our school, and we really need that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yancey. If I'm not mistaken, I don't want to say it unless it's...
November 1st.
Clubs are back November 1st. So 11 days. 11 days. Thank you. All right, our second public comment, John Roberto.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to applaud you again for doing a tremendous job and for the school doing a tremendous job with the difficulty that we're dealing with right now. I just hope that we continue to use our heads to plan ahead, to continue our feet on the gas and not pull it off too quick. So let's just keep going with what we're going with. Let's keep the kids in school, which is our primary responsibility, is to keep the kids in school so they can learn, so that they can have clubs, so that they can do these types of things. And the only way that we're going to continue to do this is to continue with what we've started until we are able to fully take the foot off the gas. So all I'm asking is just to continue to use our heads and use the data that's out there to help guide us with what's the smart thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roberta. All right, that's all the public comments that we have, and we've got Mr. Eaton up next, so we have to do a little switching things around here to get our setup right, and then we'll be right back with Mr. Eaton. Yes. Was that the sign for me? Casey, are we ready? Okay, great. Great. Welcome, Mr. Eaton. Thank you for being with us here tonight. We understand that you have some data for us to look at to help us make the best decision that we can on our masking policy, and also just to keep us all up to date on what's going on in the community. Thank you for being with us.
Sure, and thank you for having me. And if you'll bear with me 1 second, I'll see if I can pull this up. All right, can you all see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Good evening, Chairman Poole, members of the board, and Mrs. Killian. Thank you again for having me this evening. What I'd like to do tonight is, again, much like last month, is go over the current data and key metrics. And as you can see here, we are improving greatly in just about all of our key metrics for the last few consecutive weeks. Very pleased to see the trends that we are currently seeing. We're all very encouraged, and it's basically consistent with what we've seen with the behavior of the Delta variant in other parts of the world. So when we look at the daily new cases of COVID, you'll see the continued downward trend in new cases that we've sustained for nearly 4 weeks now. This is, again, very encouraging. However, as you'll see, we're still trending at around 100 new cases per day, which is relatively high. Our positivity rate for Gaston County has also declined. The last time we met, it was at 17.1%, and as of today, it's 12.6%. Again, this is very encouraging as a downward trend in the community transmission of the virus, but we'd like to see this at about 5 or less than 5% moving forward. Similar to daily new cases and our positivity rate, we've seen a great decrease in those who are hospitalized. This is extremely important to both mortality and disability, but it's also extremely important on the healthcare system in Gaston County. While this metric is also continuing to come down at a very great rate, the hospital is still seeing a census of about 80 patients hospitalized for COVID. This slide shows you all 3 trends on one slide. You'll see the daily case count in green You'll then see the average of number of hospitalized also decreasing, and then you'll see the number of those passing away due to COVID also decreasing. So it's that progression or trend of things in terms of first you start to see the daily new cases come down, then you start to see the positivity rate come down and hospitalizations come down, and then over time you begin to see death coming down as well. But I will note that just a few weeks ago, we saw a couple consecutive weeks of over 30 Gaston County citizens passing away locally from COVID. So let's take a moment and take a look at our Gaston County school-age cases and contacts. Again, this data is regarding school-age children and covers all Gaston County children and is not specific to Piedmont charter, but public, private, and charter schools in Gaston County. This slide shows you the number of weekly COVID cases in Gaston County for the 4 to 18-year-old population. I put a little marker in there showing the last time I met with you on September 21st to show you the downward trend that we've seen in the 4 to 18-year-old population. But again, I'll note that while we're very encouraged seeing this downward trend, we still, as of last week, had 131 pediatric cases of COVID in Gaston County. Also to note, when you look at the red trend line here for the 4 to 18-year-old population, this line represents a percent of total cases for this age group, and this percentage has remained consistent at 25% since early September. And kind of phrased another way, while the number of daily new cases has decreased, the percentage of school-age positives has remained level at 25% of total cases in Gaston County. This is also very encouraging. This is a slide that shows the number of student exposures and or quarantines. Based on this decline in daily new cases, much of this can be attributed to the use of masks and the decline of daily new positives in our county. So the fact that Piedmont Charter and Gaston County schools and most other schools in Gaston County have remained masked, we've been very, very successful in being able to keep our quarantine numbers as low as possible. And while 1,000 sounds like a lot, I would estimate that that could easily be sixfold, well over 6,000 in Gaston County if mask mandates were not in place at this time. When we look at faculty and staff cases and exposures, again, this is for all public, private, and charter. You'll see in green the number of cases, and in gray the number of exposures for the last few weeks. Gaston County continues to lag significantly behind the state average for vaccination among the 12 to 17-year-old population. In North Carolina, 41% of the 12 to 17-year-olds are fully vaccinated, compared to 28% in Gaston County. When we look at pediatric hospitalizations, this slide will show you the number of Gaston County children who have needed to be hospitalized due to COVID over the previous months, with September tying the second highest month at 7 children. And currently in October, we've had 2 children hospitalized due to COVID. So I wanted to compare where we were last year in October to where we are now. Last year, we had an average daily new positives around 99 compared to 82 today. On average last year at this time, we had 7.4 youth ages 4 to 18 testing positive. Today, we're seeing an average of 18.7 4 to 18-year-olds testing positive for COVID in our county. Our positivity rate last year was 11.9%, and currently it's 12.3%. And the average COVID census at the hospital was 65 last year, and currently it's at 78. So my recommendation for schools for this coming month would be to continue to adhere to the Strong Schools Toolkit and guidance that was updated October 5th, which requires all children and staff K through 12 to wear face coverings when indoors. Also, to require passengers and staff to wear face coverings on buses, vans, and other school transportation, and to follow the physical distancing protocols outlined in the toolkit. And the basis of this recommendation is on, first off, Gaston County's low vaccination rate of 52%. I just want to keep people mindful of the fact that children who are positive also go home oftentimes to a low vaccinated household, and therefore carry that virus to vulnerable grandparents, parents, and other household members. Also, the vaccine is not yet available for the 5 to 11-year-old population, so that keeps that population vulnerable as well. We continue to maintain a high positivity rate at 12.6%. Again, we like to see that at 5% or less, and we're still averaging a high number of daily new cases at 100. So I guess the theme for tonight is we have made great strides. We're trending in the right direction in all of our metrics. Certainly something that I'm very excited to see. I am a bit concerned about our vaccination rate in Gaston County, because I do believe it leaves us vulnerable for resurgence of various variants. But I feel like, based on what we've seen in other areas, that I feel confident that we're going to continue to see this trend moving downward as we move forward. We're just not quite there yet. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. It is nice to see it coming back down after that peak. Does anybody on the board have any questions for Mr. Eaton before we let him go? We don't have any questions. I really appreciate you spending the time to share that information with us.
Great. Thank you. And I'm happy to come back anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was very thorough.
Should I mute that or leave it on? Okay. All right, item 4 on the agenda is awards and recognition. And just a reminder, we will cover that face coverings policy at 6F under the governance committee section. Number 4, awards and recognition. Ms. Killen, take it away.
Okay. Good evening, board members. We have lots of great news tonight. We have 2 conference championship teams to recognize at PCCS, the high school and middle school volleyball teams.
Nice.
It's really exciting. The high school varsity girls volleyball team has had an incredible season with an undefeated 12-0 conference record, making them conference champions. This secured their spot in the state playoffs for the 2nd time in 3 years. And the middle school girls team brought home their first ever first place conference championship trophy.
That's awesome.
Very happy. We are so proud of them. Readers of the Gaston Gazette voted 10th grade volleyball player Kayla Bryson Female Athlete of the Week last month. For the 5th year in a row, the North Carolina High School Athletic Association has recognized Piedmont for demonstrating the principles of good sportsmanship. This is awarded to schools who maintain an ejection-free season, and that's a lot to be proud of.
Yeah,
Nice.
sure is.
3 high school students submitted original paintings for the Mount Holly Arts on the Greenway Festival. 2 of them, senior Santana Sharp and sophomore Greer Horowitz, won honorable mention for their work. 2 high school students were selected for the North Carolina Honors Chorus, senior Kendall Porter and junior Danielle Esquivel. This is the most prestigious choral event for North Carolina high school students. And I said the name wrong, it's Danielle Esquivel. This is the most prestigious chorus event in North Carolina for high school students. They will travel to Winston-Salem in November for the Honors Chorus Festival. We are very proud
Great.
of them. The high school is excited to recognize the 193 students who made Patriot Pride AB Honor Roll for the final quarter of last school year. They'll receive T-shirts, certificates, and incentive cards in the coming weeks. We're very proud of all of these students.
Great job. Thank you. All right, item 5, approval of previous minutes. We have quite the pack here. Ms. Barker, thank you very much for keeping all of these minutes and keeping up with all this that's been going on. So we've got Executive Committee meeting September 15th, our last board meeting on September 21st. If I can get these papers apart. Another executive committee about the mobile units, strategic planning September 25th, the emergency meeting on September 25th. I think that's probably enough for one time. Did everybody get a chance to look these over? Are there any corrections that we need to be aware of? I think everything looked good.
The only correction will be the September 25th Board of Directors emergency meeting. That wasn't an emergency meeting, it was a special meeting.
Okay, great. Sounds good. I think we can approve all of these together.
So I make a motion that we approve all the minutes presented tonight with the correction of the special meeting. Second.
Hear a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion's unanimous. Thank you. On to item 6, reports. Treasurer and Finance Committee report.
All right, good evening, everyone. We'll start with the, the budget report. There is one change to our budget report from last month. In the facilities line item, which is line 11, we've increased that by $19,000. That's to cover some of the water damage to the mobile units. And so we decided, just because we had such a substantial surplus, that we would just take it out of that rather than pulling it out of funds from last year, or our fund balance. So that line went up $19,000, which dropped our surplus down to $548,152.72. So we still don't have a state budget, so hopefully once we get that, we'll be able to make some other changes and get this all in line with that. And the executive committee had already approved it, so we don't have to approve that. So I just had wanted to point that out. Any questions on the budget? All right. So we'll move on to the surplus and cash report. This is as of September 30th. Operating account has $2,379,813.12. Special funds has $14,804.78. Our investment account as of June 30th was valued at $2,653,337.67. The IDA account, $556,581.63, and petty cash had $1,000 for total cash of $5,605,537.20. Just wanted to point out something real quick on the investment account. September was a rough month. It went down by $64,000, but as of this morning, it's back up about $45,000. So it is recovering. For our anticipated fund balance, cash and investments on hand as of June 30th, 2021, this is the unaudited number, it's $4,804,366. We'll add in our current year budgeted surplus of $548,152.72, and then pull out fund balance appropriations of $800,135. That leaves us expected cash and investments on hand of June 30th, 2022 of $4,552,383.72. Backing out the investment account with $2,653,337.67 leaves us expected cash available as of June 30th, 2022, of $1,899,046.05. Any questions on that? All right. So the last report we've got here is for the bond account. This is as of September 30th again. In the bond fund, there is $447,648.03. The debt service reserve fund has $1,794,022.61, and the project fund at this point had $50,663.95, but as of today, that account is down to zero. We have spent all that in the month of October. So, any questions on that or any of the other reports? Okay. All right. So then the next thing that I've got is the lotteries agreement. This is our lottery program that we use every year, and it's up for renewal. And they have given us different options for the renewal, but the one we've decided to go with, they've actually, if we pay for 3 years, we get the 4th year free. And so that's what this is. It kind of gives you the breakdown. So for 4 years, your total is going to be $19,641.26 to use that program, which is cheaper than if we renewed it. Because we're doing a longer period, it is actually cheaper per year if we look at it that way. So, but that will need to be approved.
Okay, are there any questions about that? Or any comments? I know that system's been great, right?
Yes, especially since we were able to add all of the enrollment paperwork so that it's digital.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right, if there's no further discussion, do I hear a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the lottery system proposal for $19,641.26.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
All right. And that is all I have.
Thank you. All right. Head of school report, Ms. Killen.
All right, the first report we have is our compliance submission report. And we only had one thing that was required to be turned in for this month. It is the LIEP service chart, and that's for our English language learners. All charter schools with English language students must attend LIEP training and complete the LIEP service chart and submit it through Epicenter by 10/31. And we submitted that on 10/6. And Anna Matthews is our English language learner specialist, and she takes care of that report for us, and we're very grateful for her. Next, we have our enrollment report. So as of October the 12th, we had 673 students enrolled in elementary, 653 enrolled in middle school, 540 enrolled in high school, for a total of 1,866. And I've included the withdrawal report for you. And next we have the personnel report, which will need to be approved. So we have filled the part-time Title I math position at the elementary campus with Susan Brewer. The nurse assistant, Miss Lindsay Cogdell. And on the middle school, we have hired a 5th grade ELA teacher, Rodrigo Policastro, and a nurse assistant, Jacqueline Johnson. So we now have all 3 campuses with a nurse assistant, and we're very grateful for them. They're
Great.
doing a great job.
We hear a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the personnel report as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
All right, next we have the contract for our attorney. Claire, can you go over the details of that? I think we're on the platinum plan, correct? So it's $13,250.
So same plan, same services, just bigger school.
Yeah,
Got it.
Awesome.
which means, you know, more service.
Yep. Are there any questions about this contract with Alexis Services?
He has been very good to us.
Yes, he
Very
has.
responsive anytime we need something, and always willing to help, so
Yep.
I think it's good.
Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the contract for Lexus.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Somebody call David, give him the good news.
I know,
I'm sure he's watching.
just to be sure, right?
Especially after I asked about the question of the attorney at the meeting.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
So the
Strategic training.
last thing on my report, I actually want to reword it. Well, this Friday is a teacher workday, so no school for students. I know they're happy about that. But this Friday we have on the calendar as a mandatory workday. So what I'm asking is to change that to an optional workday, and if they choose to work, I would like to let the staff members work from home. So I need your approval to make that change.
I make a motion to approve that.
second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. All right, on the calendar, of course, we have that work day, and November 11th is Veterans Day, and November 16th will be our next board meeting.
It'll be here before you know it. Thank you. All right, 6C, Enrichment Committee Report. Ms. Largent?
All right, the Enrichment Committee met Tuesday, October the 5th via Zoom, and we welcome new committee members, and we reviewed the 2021-2022 testing calendar. Happy that all of our usual testing is coming back, even testing that is optional or voluntary. We discussed the previous year's EOG data and the most recent BOG data, and also the iReady results. We did discuss clubs, and slowly reintroducing clubs was discussed. And we also discussed future surveys.
Good deal. Thank you. You make me feel bad. My reports weren't as official. That was solid.
Stop it.
6D, athletics.
Yes.
Ms. Barker.
So as Ms. Killian already mentioned, the girls varsity volleyball team, high school, won the regular season and conference championship. Piedmont Volleyball will be hosting the first round of the state playoffs this Saturday, October 23rd at 1 p.m. Mr. Richards will be conducting a swim interest meeting to gauge the potential of having a swim club or swim team at Piedmont this school year. The high school weight room is projected to be completed in the month of November. Our school, as Ms. Killian mentioned, was awarded the Sportsmanship Award by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association for the 5th consecutive year in Region 6. The banner is proudly displayed on the wall in the gymnasium. The girls' golf team, high school, won the conference championship. Boys' soccer team is currently in second place in our conference with 4 games remaining. The high school girls' tennis team completed their first season at Piedmont, and we had a great participation with 12 girls. The high school cross-country team had 20 student athletes participate this season. 7 boys and 5 girls have qualified for the regionals to be held in Kernersville, North Carolina on Saturday, October the 30th. Middle school, the girls volleyball team won first place in the Carolina Beltway Conference tournament, and they are the tournament champions. There were 4 of the athletes named All-Stars: Sophia Gibson, Chloe Baker, Madeline Wyatt, and Kiera Capistran. That's it.
Wow.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Sounds like we're doing it right out there in athletics. That's great. All right, 6E, Facilities Committee. Ms. Malden.
So I think it's been mentioned a couple of times. We did a bit of a redesign on the weight room, so we're waiting on a 3rd garage door, so that's why the end date pushed out a little bit. So hope that we're still in budget and still on track for November. So just want to give a little update on that. And then also the work is continuing at the mobile units that was mentioned, and we're hoping that that will be completely done by Thanksgiving.
Great. Thank you. 6F, governance.
Yes.
Ms. Crawford.
So the governance committee did meet on October 12th at the middle school conference room. At that time, we're discussing and looking at tweaking the dress code for high school and middle school, and a little in elementary. So that was about it. And we will meet again on November 9th, 2021, same place, middle school conference.
All right.
And are we going to do the face?
Mm-hmm. So we have we have to approve the interim safety measures policy for COVID-19, which includes the face coverings policy every month, according to law. So a vote in the affirmative will be that we keep this policy that we've had, face masks inside all school facilities, except when removal is necessary, when traveling on a school bus, when participating in any other school activity, subject to requirements established by the board. So, like I said, a vote in the affirmative will be to keep this requirement for 1 more month, and a vote against would be to go to optional. So, do I hear a motion?
I make a motion that we continue the COVID-19 interim safety measures policy.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. So we're going to keep this interim policy for 1 more month, and then we'll discuss it again. Mr. Eaton will join us as well. November 16th, I think you said?
Yes.
It'll be the next regularly scheduled board meeting. And then one more item under governance. we have the pleasure of seating a new middle school staff rep, Miss Kiara Lisi. If you could join us up here, it's your moment. Thank you so much for volunteering your time and for being with us. Miss Lisi is a health and PE teacher at the middle school. And we haven't spent much time together, but it's been a pleasure. And thank you for being with us and again for volunteering your time.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be invited. I'm privileged. Thank you.
Ms. Crawford, did you have anything else?
I didn't.
I just have some closing remarks unless anybody else has any new business. So it's been a challenging, historic time in our world the last 2 years. We continue to see new challenges every day. Together, we've overcome these challenges, and we will continue to do so. I thank all of you, everybody watching on Facebook, all of you that showed up tonight, for all your hard work and determination, especially for the teachers, the staff, for all the above and beyond and all the hard work. We got a little bit of a view of what's been going on in the school this weekend, and it's a lot, and we thank you for your hard work. As we continue to push through the first semester, I encourage everyone to remember that we are in this together, and that though we have many differences, there is so much that brings us together. We all want the future of our children to be brighter, and we are working to make that a reality by providing the opportunity to get an excellent education. We all have a part to play right now. Please play your part well and responsibly. Be a good role model for our children. Support the mission and the core values of the school. Be empathetic to others as we all navigate these times. No one has been immune to the added pressures of the last 2 years. It's been tough. Tougher for some, but tough for all. I remain hopeful that we will all continue to pull together and meet these challenges head on. I ask that you all have faith that we, the board and the administration, want what's best for every child at Piedmont. We understand that sometimes in making a decision that is best for the school as a whole, it will not be ideal for everyone and their individual preferences. Please understand that we are aware of this and that we are making the best decisions we can for all of us as a whole, not just certain individuals or groups. We may not all agree on every little thing, but that's okay, and honestly, that's life. As long as we remember why we are here, we'll be okay. We all know that a good education is absolutely key to the future success of our children. So we do these tough things and we make these hard decisions and we show determination to get through these tough times in order to support that goal and make that future brighter for our most precious assets, our children. Thank you for listening. Thank you for choosing Piedmont. That's it. Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Chairman.
Right, that's
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you. That's awesome.